The night was quiet in the small human colony. The wind moved gently across the metal houses, and the sky above was dark and full of stars. Children were sleeping, and workers were resting after a long day. It was peaceful, too peaceful. Like the calm before a storm, then it happened. A strange light appeared far above the sky. At first it looked like a falling star, but it grew brighter and bigger. The ground began to shake, windows rattled, and animals cried in fear. People ran outside, pointing at the sky, their voices full of panic. What is that? Is it a meteor? Is it a ship? They shouted. The light came closer. Hotter, louder. It was not a star, not a meteor. It was something alive, something with purpose. The ship landed outside the colony with a scream of burning metal. Dust and fire rose into the air, shaking the ground like an earthquake. The houses trembled, and people fell to their knees. No one had ever seen a ship like this. It was not human design, it was black, sharp, and alive with strange glowing lines that moved like blood through veins. The air became heavy, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Children cried. Mothers pulled them back into homes. Men stood frozen, unsure whether to fight or run. The colony leader shouted, "Stay inside, everyone stay inside," but no one listened. Fear pulled them toward the ship like a magnet. A large door began to open, slow and terrible. Steam poured out, and a smell of rot filled the air. Something was inside, something hungry. Then they heard it. A voice, not from a mouth, but from everywhere. It shook the ground, it shook their bones. "Feed me human," the voice demanded. The words were not spoken in their language, but somehow everyone understood. The sound was deep, full of rage and endless hunger. It was not asking, it was commanding. Panic broke the crowd. Some ran into the houses. Some fell to the ground crying. Others stared at the dark opening of the ship. Waiting for death, the colony had weapons, but no one moved to use them. What weapon could fight something that spoke to the mind itself? The leader tried to shout again, "Stay calm! Stay calm!" But his own voice was shaking. From the ship, a shadow moved. A tall figure stepped into the light of the burning sky. The alien was larger than any human. Its skin pale like bone, its eyes glowed red, bright and endless like fire in the night. Its body was thin yet full of power. Every step heavy and strong, the air around it felt cold. And every human felt small before it. The alien raised its head, and the same voice echoed again. "Feed me, human, or I will destroy all." The colony was silent, only the sound of breathing and fear. The alien's eyes scanned the crowd as if counting them. The hunger in its gaze was clear. It was not a visitor, not a friend, it was a predator, and the colony was prey. Inside the houses, whispers started. What does it want? Food? Flesh? Blood? No one had the answer. Some believed it wanted to eat humans like animals. Others thought it was testing them. But no matter the truth, one thing was clear. The alien was starving, and it had chosen them. The ground shook again as the alien took another step. Its ship behind it glowed with strange lights. Like a living beast waiting to feed, the people could not look away. Trapped between fear and curiosity, the leader stepped forward, shaking but trying to be strong. "Who are you? What do you want from us?" he asked. The answer came at once, the same words, louder, harder. "Feed me, human," children screamed, mothers held them tight. Men reached for weapons, but their hands trembled. The alien tilted its head, studying them like a farmer studies animals before slaughter. No mercy, no kindness, only hunger. The silence grew heavy. The air grew darker. In that moment, the humans of the colony knew. They were facing something that did not come to talk. It came to take. And so the night that began in peace was broken forever. Fear filled every heart. Hope felt like a dying flame. And the words of the alien repeated again and again inside their minds. "Feed me, human." The shadow of the alien stretched across the colony ground. Its burning red eyes scanned the people like a hunter choosing prey. Every step it took shook the earth. Every breath it gave smelled of ash and rot. No one dared to move, no one dared to breathe too loud. The fear was so heavy that even the wind stopped moving. Again the voice thundered, not from its mouth but from the air itself. "Feed me, human," it said, each word like a hammer on stone. The demand was not a question, it was law. The alien's hunger was not like the hunger of a man. It was endless, ancient, and deep like the black sea of space. The colony leader tried to step forward, his legs weak. His hands shook as he raised them high. We do not understand," he said, his voice breaking. "Do you want food? Crops, animals? We can give you these. But the alien only tilted its head, the red glow in its eyes burning brighter. The answer was the same, louder than thunder. Feed me human, the people gasped. Some cried, some screamed. Now the meaning was clear. It was not asking for grain, not for water, not for animals. It wanted them, their flesh, their bodies, their very lives. Panic broke across the crowd like fire through dry grass. Mothers pulled children back into houses. Men pushed each other away, trying to hide behind walls. But no wall was strong enough to hide them from those burning eyes. The alien's long fingers reached outward. Sharp like blades, it pointed at the crowd, its voice echoing inside every mind. You are many, I am one, I am hungry. You will feed me. The words froze blood and filled hearts with despair. No one had ever heard such power in a voice. It was not just sound, it was command inside one house. A family argued in terror. The father whispered, maybe if we give one, maybe it will leave us. The mother shook her head, crying, no, it will take more, it will never stop. Children sobbed quietly, hiding under blankets as if shadows could protect them. Across the colony, whispers grew the same. Some said sacrifice one life to save many. Others shouted that humans must never give themselves to monsters. The colony was breaking apart, not from claws or teeth, but from fear. The alien took another step forward, its shadow now touching the leader. The ground cracked under its weight, though its body was thin. It bent low, bringing its burning eyes close to the trembling man. Choose, the voice growled. One or all. The words were simple. Sharp, final, the meaning was clear. The colony had until dawn to decide. The leader fell to his knees. His mind breaking under the weight of fear, he begged, please give us time. Give us mercy. But the alien only straightened its tall body and stared at the stars. There was no mercy in its gaze, only the patience of a predator waiting for prey. It had demanded, and now it would wait. The choice belonged to the humans, but the end belonged to the alien. Night fell heavy over the colony. Fires burned in the distance where the ship had scarred the land. The people gathered in the meeting hall, voices full of fear. Some shouted to fight, though they knew their weapons were weak. Others whispered to sacrifice, though the shame burned in their eyes. Every face was pale, every voice broken. The aliens' words were still echoing inside their heads. Feed me human. One brave woman stood up among them. Her eyes burned not with fear but with anger. She said, if we give it one, it will ask for more. If we bow once, we will bow forever. But her words were drowned in cries of terror. The people could not think of honor or pride. They could only think of survival. The council argued until their voices grew hoarse. No answer came, no plan was strong enough. The alien was outside, waiting, watching. Its shadow touched every corner of the colony. Every time the wind blew, they thought they heard its voice. Every time the fire cracked, they thought they saw its eyes. The hunger of the alien was everywhere, and it was only the beginning. As the night grew darker, silence fell over the hall. No one wanted to admit the truth. They were trapped, helpless, prey in a cage. The alien had made its demand, and humans had only two choices: to resist and be destroyed, or to obey and be devoured. The brave woman whispered to herself, there must be another way. But the alien's voice came again from the shadows outside. A voice that shook the night like thunder. Feed me human. The night after the alien's demand was long and heavy. Inside the colony, no one slept. The streets were silent, but behind doors and windows, voices argued in whispers. The fear was alive. It moved from house to house like smoke. It entered every room. Every heart, every dream. Some families prayed, hoping the alien would vanish with the morning sun. Others packed bags, ready to run into the desert. Even if it meant death, mothers held their children close, rocking them to sleep though their own eyes stayed wide open. Fathers stared out the windows, waiting for the red glow of alien eyes to return. No one could escape the voice that still echoed in their minds. Feed me human. In the meeting hall, the leaders sat in silence. The colony chief looked older, his hair gray under the dim lights. His hands shook as he poured water into a cup, but he did not drink. Around him, the council argued again and again. Some said, we cannot fight, we must give one. Others shouted, if we give one, it will demand another and another. The room was full of voices, but no voice carried hope. Outside, the alien stood like a shadow of stone. It did not move, it did not blink, it only watched. Silent, patient, its ship behind it pulsed with dim light. like the heart of a giant beast. Every flicker reminded the people that their time was running out. Every hour brought them closer to dawn, closer to choice, closer to doom. Inside one small home, a young boy whispered to his sister, "Do you think it will eat us?" The girl cried and said, "It only wants one. Maybe it will not choose us." But their father overheard and slammed his hand on the table. "No, don't say that. Don't hope for another to suffer." Yet his own eyes betrayed the fear in his soul. Even he was thinking the same dark thought. Better them than me. The fear grew into poison. It broke trust between neighbors. It broke love between friends when a man walked by. People stared at him and whispered, maybe he should be the one. When a woman cried too loud, others hissed, "Quiet, do you want the alien to notice you?" Suspicion spread like a disease. Every human was both victim and suspect. The brave woman who had spoken in the meeting stood alone now. Her voice had been strong, but few had listened. She walked through the colony and saw the fear in every face. She felt the weight of it pressing on her chest. She knew if no one acted, the colony would destroy itself before the alien even touched them. She whispered, "Humans must be more than prey. We must find another way." At midnight, she gathered a small group of the young and bold. They met in secret by the old water tower. The night air was cold, the stars bright but distant. Their voices shook, but they tried to be brave. "We cannot give one of us," she said. "If we do, we lose everything, not just one life. But our spirit, our honor, our future." The others nodded. Though fear burned in their eyes, they agreed to search for answers, to learn what the alien truly wanted. But even as they planned, the fear of being discovered filled them with dread. Back in the meeting hall, the council finally broke. One man stood and shouted, "Better one dies than all." Others joined his cry, slamming fists on the table. "A sacrifice! A sacrifice!" Their voices grew wild, desperate. The chief closed his eyes and said nothing. He was too tired, too broken to resist. The idea of giving one life had taken root, and the fear watered it, fed it, made it grow strong. By dawn, the colony was divided. Half whispered of sacrifice, half clung to hope of resistance, but all of them were still slaves to fear. No one smiled, no one laughed, no one even spoke without trembling. The shadow of the alien still lay across the land. The hunger in its eyes still burned like fire in the dark, and its voice, though silent, still echoed inside their minds. "Feed me, human." The brave woman watched the first light of morning touch the desert. She knew the colony was close to breaking. She knew if no one acted soon, they would give in to fear and hand over one of their own. Her heart beat hard, her fists clenched. She swore she would not allow it, but the question burned inside her like a wound. How could she stop it? How could one human stand against hunger that came from the stars? And still, from the shadow of the ship, the alien waited, silent, patient, endless. It did not need to rush, fear was already feeding it. And the real feast had not even begun. The sun rose over the desert, but its light brought no comfort. The colony was quiet, yet the silence was heavy with fear. People avoided each other's eyes, afraid to speak, afraid to be chosen. The alien still stood outside, tall and waiting. Its burning red eyes never closed, never blinked. It was like a dark statue of hunger. The words it had spoken still echoed in every mind. "Feed me, human." The council argued again that morning. Some shouted that sacrifice was the only way. Others whispered about escape, though they knew there was nowhere to run. The brave woman listened but did not join them. She knew words were useless now. Fear had already taken control of the people. If truth was to be found, it would not come from talk. It would come from action, so when the night returned, she moved alone. She left her home quietly, her footsteps soft in the dust. The stars were bright above, and the alien ship glowed faintly in the distance. Her heart beat hard, but she did not stop. She carried only a small lamp and her courage. Every shadow felt alive. Every sound made her flinch, but she pressed on. If no one else would search for answers, she would. The ship loomed before her, massive and strange. Its surface was not smooth metal, but something that looked alive. Dark lines pulsed across it like veins in flesh. The smell of rot grew stronger as she approached. The air around it was cold, colder than the desert night. Her breath came out like mist as she stood near. The door was half open, steam curling out like breath from a beast. The silence was worse than the alien's voice. It felt like the ship itself was watching her. She crept inside, her lamp glowing faint in the thick fog. The walls pulsed with dim light, red and sickly. They seemed to beat like a slow heart. Every step echoed too loudly, making her pause and listen. The air was heavy, wet, and full of hunger. It was not just a ship, it was a cage of need. A place built by desperation. A home for endless appetite. Then she saw them. Rows of storage pods, tall and empty, their glass cracked, their wires torn. Inside them were stains, dark and dried. She touched one and pulled her hand back quickly. The smell told her the truth. The pods had once held food, but not animals. Not plants, something else. Her heart raced as she moved deeper. Symbols were carved into the walls, alien writing, sharp and strange. Glowing faintly red, she could not read them. But she felt their meaning. This ship had traveled far. Across empty space, it had lost its supplies. Its cargo, its life. And now it had come here starving, desperate. The alien outside was not lying. It was truly hungry. But hungry for what? She searched further, her lamp flickering against the dark. In the deepest chamber, she found strange tools. Metal claws, tubes, and masks shaped for faces. She touched one and felt a shiver of cold. This was not made for plants or animals. It was made for humans. Her stomach turned. The alien did not want flesh alone. It wanted something more, something inside. Something only humans carried. Her breath came fast, her heart beating hard. She remembered the words again. Feed me, human. And she understood. It was not just food for the body. It was food for the spirit. The alien fed on life force, on energy, on the spark that made humans human. That was its hunger. That was its need. The sound of movement froze her. She turned and saw the shadow of the alien. It was inside the ship, its tall form blocking the dim red light. Its eyes burned in the darkness. It had followed her. Perhaps it had known she would come. Its voice thundered again, closer this time. You see, human, you understand. I need what you have. I need what only you can give. She stumbled back. But the alien did not strike. It only stared, breathing slow. Its hunger filled the chamber like smoke. Her lamp shook in her hands, her legs weak. Yet she forced herself to speak. You will kill us, all of us. If you take it, the alien tilted its head, its thin lips curling. I will die if I do not, it said. The choice is simple, you feed me or you all burn. Her fear burned like fire in her chest. But behind it something else grew, anger. Not just for herself, but for her people. She would not let them be prey. Not without a fight, not without truth. She backed away slowly, keeping her eyes on the alien. Then she turned and fled from the ship. Her heart pounded as she ran into the night. The alien's voice followed her into the dark. Feed me, human. The brave woman ran from the alien ship. Her lungs burned, her legs shook, but she did not stop. Behind her, the shadow of the alien ship pulsed like a beating heart. The voice of the creature still echoed in her head. Feed me, human. When she reached the colony gates, guards rushed to stop her. They saw the fear in her eyes, the dust on her face. Oh, where were you? What did you see? They demanded. But she only gasped for breath. Clutching her chest, let me through, I must speak to the council, she said. Her words carried such urgency that the guards stepped aside. She hurried into the meeting hall where the council still argued. Their tired voices filled the air like broken glass. Sacrifice or resistance, they had no other answers. The doors burst open and all eyes turned. The woman stood tall. Though her body trembled, her voice shook. But her words were clear. I have seen inside the ship, she said. The room went silent, not even the fires crackled. Every face leaned closer, desperate for truth. She told them what she had found. The empty pods, the strange machines, the writing on the walls, the smell of rot, the tools shaped for humans, and the shadow of the alien that had followed her. Gasps filled the room. Fear spread again. But she raised her hand and continued. It does not want our flesh, not in the way we feared. It does not eat like we eat. It feeds on something deeper, on our life force, our energy. Our spirit. The council members exchanged terrified looks. What do you mean? One asked. She pressed her hand to her chest. The spark inside us, the thing that makes us human. It wants to drain it, to drink it. It will not stop until we are empty. Her words made the people shiver. To lose flesh was one fear, but to lose the soul itself was far worse. The leader of the council stood pale and trembling. So it cannot live without us, he whispered. And we cannot live with it. The room filled with angry voices again. Some shouted, then we must fight. Others cried, if we resist, we will all die. But now the fear was different. Sharper, heavier, it was no longer about being eaten. It was about being erased. The brave woman slammed her fist on the table. "Listen to me," she cried. "If we give it one, it will not stop. It will return again and again until nothing is left of us. Do you not see we are not food, we are fuel? If we agree to this, we are nothing but wood for its fire." Her words struck the crowd like lightning. Some nodded, others turned away in shame. They had thought of sacrifice, but now the truth was darker. In the corner of the hall, a man stood trembling. His voice cracked as he spoke. "My wife is sick, she cannot be saved, maybe. Maybe she could be the one. Maybe her life could buy us time." The room gasped. Some muttered in agreement, but the woman's eyes burned with fury. "No," she said, "do not give it one. Not even the dying. Life is still life once we start. We will never stop." Her words stirred the young in the hall. They murmured to each other, some stood beside her, their faces set with determination. But the older ones shook their heads. Their fear was too strong, their hope too weak. The colony was splitting apart. Between courage and terror, between honor and survival, the night grew darker outside and still the alien waited. Its red eyes glowed in the distance. Its shadow stretched long over the sand. Every heartbeat in the colony was like a drum calling to it. Every whisper of fear was a gift to its hunger. The brave woman stepped outside. She stared at the alien from afar. The ground between them was wide, but the weight of its gaze closed the distance. Her voice was steady, though her body shook. "You will not break us," she whispered. "You may be stronger, but we are not yours." The alien tilted its head, its burning eyes flashing, and once again, the voice filled the night. "Feed me, human." The woman clenched her fists. She now understood the truth. The alien was not only starving for energy, it was starving for obedience. It wanted them to submit, to bend, to bow. But she would not bow. Not tonight, not ever. She turned back toward the colony. Her people needed more than warnings. They needed answers, a plan, a way to fight. The discovery was not only of the alien's hunger, it was of humanity's choice to live as prey or to rise as something greater. The colony did not sleep that night. Some sat inside their homes, whispering prayers. Others gathered in the meeting hall, voices low and heavy. The brave woman's discovery had shaken everyone. No one could forget her words. The alien did not want flesh, it wanted the life within. The spark of humanity itself. By dawn, the colony stood on the edge of breaking. Half the people demanded sacrifice, half cried for resistance. The leader sat silent, his face pale with shame. He had no answer, no courage, only fear. It was then that the ground trembled again. The alien was moving. Its tall shadow rose against the morning light. Its red eyes burned brighter than the sun. The people ran to the streets, children clung to their parents. Men gripped old weapons with shaking hands. The alien stepped closer, each footfall cracking the earth. Its voice thundered like a storm. "Feed me, human." The demand was louder, sharper, filled with rage. Its hunger had grown stronger through the night. Its patience was ending. The brave woman stepped forward. Her legs shook, but she did not hide. She raised her voice so all could hear. "No, we will not feed you." Gasps filled the colony. Some cried in terror. Others shouted at her to stop. The alien lowered its head. Its red eyes locked on her. Its shadow swallowed her small figure. "You refuse," the voice boomed. "You deny me when I gave you choice, then I will take, I will burn. I will leave nothing." Its long fingers curled into claws. The ground cracked beneath its feet. A wave of cold air spread over the colony. Children screamed, mothers wept. Men raised weapons, though their arms trembled. The woman lifted her chin, her heart pounded. But her voice was clear. "You may be strong, but you are alone. We are many, and we will not bow." Her words echoed through the crowd for the first time. Some lifted their heads in courage. The alien hissed, the sound like knives scraping on stone. Its body bent forward, towering over her. Its voice entered every mind again. "Then you choose death." It raised one clawed hand. The air burned with red light, the ground split, sending dust and fire into the air. The people screamed, some ran, some fell to their knees, but the woman did not move. Her eyes stayed locked on the creature. Her voice broke the terror. "You are not a god. You are only a starving beast." The alien froze. For the first time it did not speak. The silence was louder than thunder. Its burning eyes narrowed. It had been called many things across the stars. Monster, hunter, destroyer, but never beast. The word cut deeper than a weapon. Rage burst from its body. The ground shook as its roar filled the sky, but the people saw it now. They saw what the woman had seen. Not an endless god, not an immortal power, but a creature hungry, desperate, alone, a predator, yes, but not invincible. The men raised their weapons higher. The women shouted words of defiance. The children cried, but some pointed and shouted too. The colony was changing. Fear was still there. But courage was rising. The alien stepped back, its claws trembling. It had expected silence, obedience, surrender. But instead it faced resistance. It faced humans who dared to speak back. The woman stepped closer. Her voice carried like fire. You came to take from us. But you will not find weakness here. We may fall, we may bleed, but we will never bow. Her words spread like lightning through the crowd. The people roared with her. Their voices rose together. We will never bow. The alien's roar shook the desert. Its red eyes flared brighter than ever. The ship behind it pulsed with violent light. The air screamed with power. For a moment it seemed the world would break. But the humans did not run. They stood shoulder to shoulder, their courage stronger than their fear. The confrontation had begun. The colony against the alien. Humans against hunger from the stars. And though death hung heavy in the air, for the first time hope burned brighter. The woman's heart thundered as she stared into the alien's eyes. The moment of choice was here, and she had made hers. She would stand, she would fight, she would not bow. The alien stood tall, its claws glowing with red light. The air burned with its rage, and the ground trembled beneath its feet. The colony faced it together, their fear still alive but chained by courage. The brave woman's words echoed in every heart. We will never bow. The alien's voice thundered again. You think courage will feed you. You think words will save you. I will show you how courage tastes when it burns. Its red eyes flared. The sky darkened and the ship behind it pulsed with power. But the woman did not step back. She stared at the monster with steady eyes. She was afraid, yes, but she was also something more. She was human. Her mind raced. The discovery she had made inside the ship burned in her thoughts. The alien fed not on flesh, not on bone, but on the spark of life itself. It needed energy, spirit, the unseen fire inside humans. If it drained them, they would be nothing but empty shells. But if that energy could be given in another way, maybe the colony could survive. She raised her voice again. You hunger for our life force, not our bodies, the alien hissed, its red eyes narrowing. You understand? Yet you still resist. The woman's hand pressed against her chest. What if we give it freely, she said. Not death, not bodies, but energy shared, not stolen. The alien tilted its head, its burning gaze fixed on her. Shared, it repeated. The word sounded strange in its mouth. As if it had never spoken it before, it stepped closer, its shadow swallowing the ground. Explain, it demanded. The people whispered in fear. Some thought she was mad. Others clung to her words as the last spark of hope. The woman stood firm, her voice clear. We are not prey. We are not cattle for you to drain, but we are alive. Our energy is strong. We can give it in another way. Through will, through spirit, through unity. The alien's eyes flared brighter. You offer yourselves. Do you think I will sip when I can devour? But even as it mocked, its voice trembled. The hunger in it was sharp, desperate, aching. It had wandered the stars, starving. It had lost everything. Now, before it stood humans who dared to suggest something no prey had ever suggested. Not surrender, not silence, but choice. The woman turned to the crowd, her voice carried strong and clear. Join hands, she commanded. The people hesitated, afraid, but slowly, one by one. They reached for each other, hands clasped, arms linked. Children pressed against parents. Neighbors stood shoulder to shoulder. A chain of humanity formed under the shadow of the alien. The woman closed her eyes. She thought of the colony, of the lives inside it, of the strength that bound them together. She thought of hope, of courage, of fire, and she poured it outward, not with her body, but with her spirit. Her voice rose in a whisper. We give, but not to die. We give to live. A glow spread through the colony. Faint at first, then brighter. It was not fire, not electricity. It was the glow of human spirit, the energy the alien hungered for. But this time it was not stolen, it was offered. The light rose into the air like golden smoke. It drifted toward the alien. The creature inhaled, its body trembling. For the first time since it had arrived. It did not roar, it did not command, it sighed. The red light in its eyes softened. its claws lowered, its tall frame bent slightly as if weakened. The hunger inside it calmed. It was not full, but it was eased. The colony watched in silence, fear still heavy but joined now by wonder. The alien's voice came softer. You give without dying. I taste without ending you. It looked at the woman, its burning eyes dimmer. You found a path no world has found. Others bowed, others burned, but you resist and yet you feed. The woman's breath shook, but her voice was steady. This is what makes us human. We do not bow, we do not break, we find answers, we build paths, even for our enemies. The alien stared long at her. Then it stepped back, its claws folding into its thin arms. It did not roar, it did not strike, it simply looked, silent, thoughtful. The people held their breath. The desert wind carried the smell of dust and fire. But also something new, hope. The confrontation was not ended. The hunger was not destroyed, but for the first time, the alien did not see only prey. It saw humans, strong, clever, unbroken. The woman stood at the front of the colony, her people behind her, the light of their spirit fading slowly back into the night. She whispered, "We will never bow." And this time, the alien said nothing.